Let me tell you, the moment I opened my social feeds this week, I could practically smell the drama through the Wi-Fi. You know, that mix of confusion, outrage, and absolutely unnecessary noise that usually means someone, somewhere, has decided to blame Meghan again for something she did not do. And guess what? I was right. Because suddenly every headline was screaming about Meghan, her father, and his medical issues, and the critics came running like the circus was in town and tickets were free. But here is the twist. While everyone was busy pointing fingers, the internet did something surprising. It shifted its attention to a woman who has always kept her peace, always stood with dignity, and has never tried to cash in on her daughter's name. I am talking about the incomparable Doria Ragland, the quiet queen, the definition of class, the woman who has been minding her business so well she could teach a masterclass in it. The drama began when reports surfaced saying Thomas Markle was dealing with a serious health crisis abroad. The moment that news hit the internet, critics who were probably already halfway through a cup of bitterness jumped into action. They immediately started accusing Meghan of being uncaring. According to them, she was sitting in her home, ignoring everything, humming happily and being heartless. You would think these people had a subscription to her private thoughts, the way they love to claim they know her motives. But here is the part they never want to talk about. Meghan's spokesperson confirmed that she reached out to her father as soon as she heard the news. She acted immediately. She acted privately. She acted with compassion. She did not grandstand. She did not perform for the cameras. She did not use the moment for publicity. She simply did what a decent person would do even after years of being publicly humiliated by him. This is the same father who staged photos for money right before her wedding. The same father who did interview after interview criticizing her. The same father who helped tabloids promote narratives that caused her stress, anxiety, and emotional pain. And still, despite all that, Meghan reached out. That one action says more about her than any headline ever will. But the critics do not want compassion. They want conflict. They want a villain to blame. They want Meghan to be the bad guy in a story that they keep rewriting every time a new event happens. They ignored her outreach completely. Instead, they leap straight into their usual chorus of negativity because that is what gets them attention. But this time, something different happened. People started pushing back, hard. And that is when the spotlight shifted to Doria Ragland. Suddenly, clips of her speaking in the documentary resurfaced all over social media. People remembered the quiet strength, the emotional honesty, and the real pain she shared while describing the harassment she faced from paparazzi. Doria talked about being followed everywhere. She talked about cameras showing up while she walked her dog, went to work, or simply existed. She talked about being stalked in a way no parent should ever have to deal with. But the moment that shook everyone was when she revealed that paparazzi once approached her directly and offered her a significant amount of money to sell out her daughter. They wanted dirt, they wanted quotes, they wanted anything they could twist into a headline. And what did Doria do? She said no, instantly, easily, like she was refusing expired coupons at a grocery store. For a social worker who was not wealthy at the time, that money would have made a difference. A big one. Yet she refused because her loyalty was not for sale. Her daughter's trust meant more than any amount of cash tabloids could offer. That moment has been replayed online again and again because it highlights something critics conveniently avoid discussing. Doria protected Meghan while Thomas profited off her. The contrast is almost cinematic when you think about it. On one hand, you have Thomas staging photos for money and giving interviews like he had a rewards card for every tabloid in the world. On the other hand, you have Doria, who stayed silent, dignified and loyal through everything. She did not take interviews. She did not sell stories. She did not allow the media to manipulate her. She simply protected her child because that is what real parents do. And fans noticed. They pointed it out repeatedly. One online comment said that tabloids threw money at Doria and she still refused to betray her daughter, while Thomas accepted those same offers again and again. People began calling Doria the gold standard of parenthood. And yet, when he faced a health crisis, she still reached out. That is empathy. That is maturity. That is someone who understands compassion even when it is not deserved in return. The irony here is incredible. Meghan gets blamed for the broken relationship even though she did not create the distance. She did not force him to take money from tabloids. She did not force him to skip her wedding. She did not force him to sell private letters or criticize her publicly. Those were his choices. And Meghan has carried the consequences quietly, without ever attempting to humiliate him in return. If anything, she has shown more kindness than most people would in her situation. But the media never tells the story fairly. The British tabloids especially have used Thomas as their favourite weapon for years. They print every negative comment he offers, knowing full well that it will cause emotional harm and fuel public hatred toward Meghan. They have encouraged his behaviour because it sells papers. They have given him platforms despite the pain it causes his daughter. And when he attacks Meghan, they treat it like breaking news instead of what it is, a father hurting his own child for public attention. Yet these same outlets are now acting devastated about his health, all while using the moment to criticize Meghan. The double standard is so extreme it could win a gold medal. But the people watching closely see the truth. They see how the media props him up only when it benefits their narrative. They see how Doria remains the model of integrity despite being offered the same opportunities he was. And they see how Meghan consistently chooses love, compassion and silence over retaliation or drama. This entire situation has reminded everyone that real strength is not loud. It is steady. It is consistent. It is principled. Doria showed what unwavering loyalty looks like. Meghan showed what compassion looks like even after pain. Harry showed what it means to stand by your partner against a toxic media machine. And the supporters who refused to swallow the media's storyline showed what truth looks like when people refuse to be manipulated. No matter how many smear campaigns get launched, no matter how many dramatic headlines get printed, the truth keeps shining through. People are waking up to the pattern. They are recognizing the unfair treatment. They are seeing the hypocrisy. And they are choosing to stand with the Sussexes rather than with the noise. That is the kind of support that lasts. And as for Doria, her example is not just admirable, it is inspiring. She proved that being a good parent does not require the world's approval. It requires courage, loyalty, and a refusal to let greed destroy your integrity. That is why people are praising her. That is why her name is being carried through social media with admiration. That is why she is being called the blueprint for how to protect your child in a world that wants to exploit them. This moment has shown the world that no matter how loudly the critics shout, real character does not need a microphone. And Meghan's supporters understand that. They know who she is. They know what she has endured. They know the truth will always outweigh the gossip. So as we wrap up, I want to thank you for joining me and being part of a community that actually cares about facts, fairness, and compassion. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss our future discussions. And if you want to help this channel grow, you can support through Super Thanks or buy me a coffee. Every bit helps us keep going strong and continue bringing honest, thoughtful content to the Sussex Squad family. Thank you for spending your time with me. I appreciate you, I value you, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one.